FM, Fargo-Moorhead.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki alongside Meteorologist Justin Storm, and we're missing the key cog to the wheel here today, Justin.
We're missing 2/3 of our show, Dean.
We are, yeah. Yes, actually, Bridget is, she's attending an NDSU get-together over there, and I believe she was one of the keynote speakers, if I'm not mistaken, so... she's got some important.
Pretty sure she was.
Yeah, she's got some important things to deal with, but we'll hopefully fly the plane straight and land it safely before the hour.
Hey, landing is the hardest part. Dean.
It is. Landing is the
flying
hardest.
is easy. Anybody can fly. Nope, not everyone can land a plane.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what. Mother Nature decided to shake up the snow globe again today. Man, what is this? 6 straight days of at least light snow across the area. We're looking at the temperatures right now at 10 above, light snow. Visibility is down to about 2.5 miles. Wind chill is below zero as those winds increase out of the west, west-southwest of 15 to 25. So it's a cold afternoon, and we'll continue to see these periods of light snow like we have over the last 5 days, and not going to add up to much, half inch or so, maybe a little bit more in the northern valley from Devil's Lake Basin to just north of Grand Forks and east of Grand Forks. I think there might be a little bit more. And stronger winds also in the Northern Valley. But boy, oh boy, this is, and again, this is part of the LRC cycle. So when we get that cycle length set, this same pattern will probably be back a couple more times this winter. So get used to it. Although, you know, if you remember the start of the LRC cycle back in October, we had some really, you know, it started out chilly, but then we had a nice warm up after that. So, and I think we're going to continue to see.
It was pretty good for about a month there.
Yep.
So even though we got a couple of systems, moving through the area in the back half of this LRC cycle, it's much beneficial storm systems because those will be our stormier period in the LRC where we could hopefully catch up on some much needed moisture. And we'll touch on what that LRC is looking like. Are we expecting it to set anytime soon? And what's coming up around the corner for Thanksgiving? Weather, is it going to be nice? Is there going to be another storm cycle? Well, we'll let you know, and we got a few ag things we're going to try and squeak in there as well. And if you'd ever like to join in on our conversation or ask any weather questions, maybe hold off on the ag ones, because I bet you Dean and I wouldn't be very good at answering some of those.
But we can figure it out.
We can shoot. We can try. Definitely try. Give us a phone call, 701-293-9000. We'd also love to hear if you're out and about, if you have any road conditions or traveling conditions where some of those snow showers are falling. Again, we'll look at that in a little more detail when we come back from ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. A day after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said it was time for a new generation to lead the Democrats in the House, the man expected to be at the forefront of that generation, New York's Hakeem Jeffries, officially announced his bid for minority leader. ABC's Rachel Scott has more from Capitol Hill.
If elected by House Democrats, he would be the first black lawmaker to lead a party in Congress. Pelosi will still have major influence. Even though she is stepping down from leadership, she'll continue to serve out her term in Congress.
President Biden called Pelosi the most consequential House Speaker in history. Vice President Kamala Harris and the leaders of several U.S. allies convened an emergency meeting on the sidelines of a summit of Pacific Rim nations in Thailand. Reason? North Korea's latest missile launch.
Today's test shows progress in North Korea's missile development. According to South Korea, the missile traveled 620 miles before landing in waters just northwest of Japan. While airborne, there was even enough concern that an American airbase in northern Japan was told to seek cover.
That's ABC's Maggie Rulli from the Foreign Desk. Japan's defense minister said the missile was strong enough to reach anywhere in the mainland U.S. University of Idaho community is anxious after the murders last weekend of 4 students at a home off campus. No suspects been identified. State police told ABC's Kana Whitworth 2 surviving roommates have been very cooperative.
Potentially they are witnesses. Potentially they are victims. We want to protect
they're the key to this whole thing.
ABC's learned those witnesses did not make the call to 911. It's sentencing day for Elizabeth Holmes, the former Silicon Valley star, considered a billionaire because of her blood testing startup Theranos, but then convicted of fraud. Federal prosecutors are seeking 15 years in prison. A travel ban is back in effect for the city of Buffalo, New York, where lake-effect snow is expected to fall all weekend, could bring several feet of snow. You're listening to ABC News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Well, President Trump has spoken, and now Newsmax is conducting an urgent poll. Will you support Trump again or DeSantis? Newsmax wants to know what you think. To vote in the Newsmax national poll, just text the word rally to 39747. That's rally to 39747. It takes just seconds. Text rally to 39747. It's your chance to let your voice be heard. Every day I tune into Newsmax for the real news I can trust. I watch Rob Schmidt every night. Rob asks really tough questions. If you haven't seen Rob Schmidt, check him out tonight. Millions are like me. They're making the switch to Newsmax. And don't forget to vote a Newsmax poll on Trump versus DeSantis. Just text the word rally to 39747. That's rally to 39747. And make the switch to Newsmax today. You're going to love Newsmax.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with Meteorologist Justin Storm. Normally, we would have our Ag Director, Bridget Riedel, with us today, but she is attending a very important function, and she's one of the keynote speakers at NDSU. So we want to wish Bridget the best of luck over there. She doesn't need luck. She's a pro. She's great.
She's got this.
Yeah, so
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, look at her. She carries us around every day.
Sure, man, I'm telling you. You don't realize how much you miss somebody until they're gone. I think there's a saying like that. So
something like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Friday, and we like to give stuff away on Fridays, and especially since it's not ours, it's the boss's, and it's not our money. He's spending it, so that's
right. We're giving away everything but the kitchen sink because it's bolted down in the break room. So
yes, we are. So we are going to do a trivia question today, and we are giving away one of our absolutely fantastic weather rain gauges from Productive Alternatives. And when we had our open house the other day, I had a few people come up to me and say, man, where can I get one of these rain gauges? I'm trying to win it, but I can't win it. So where can I get one? And if you go on to our Weather and Ag and Focus page on Facebook, I put a link on there to their website, Productive Alternatives, down in Fergus Falls. They got a few places you can order them from. So again, log on.
They got other fun products on their website as well.
Oh, they do, yeah, they do, and it's
all sorts of cool things.
Yeah, so you can find those on our Facebook page and log on to their website, or you can try it, win one today with our weather. Actually, this is kind of an ag trivia question today. And if you're watching us on Acres TV, or if you're watching us online, and you can call in and win, we will ship it to you. That's not a problem. Our phone number is 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000. Here's today's ag trivia question. Pear brandy. That's ag, right? I mean, it's fruit and, combine that with liquor and grains and all that stuff. So in many liquor...
Like all our favorite things.
Yes, exactly. In many liquor stores, you can buy pear brandy. with a real pear inside the bottle. The pear is whole and ripe, and the bottle is genuine. It hasn't been cut in any way. How did the pear get inside the bottle? Again, the question is, in many liquor stores you can buy pear brandy with a real pear inside the bottle. The pear is whole and ripe, and the bottle is genuine. It hasn't been cut in any way. How did the pear get inside the bottle? 701-293-9000, and Ronnie will be taking your calls today, and hopefully we can get phones ringing already. So, wow. Okay. I thought
That's an interesting one. I wonder how they do it.
Yeah. It's like, how did that get in there? So, hopefully
aliens.
That's what it is.
Magic.
That is what it is. So, again, if you know the answer to that, 701-293-9000 to win a beautiful rain gauge from Productive Alternatives. So let's kind of hit the weather real quick here and kind of extend it out a little bit into next week. For today, again, light snow continues. Another little upper-level wave dives in from Canada, and we've been stuck in this pattern for about 5-6 days. And like we were saying earlier, this is part of the LRC cycle, and this particular part of the pattern that we've had over the last week will cycle back through a couple more times this winter. When, we're not exactly sure yet because the length of the LRC cycle hasn't been set, but it's close. It looks like it's coming close, and once we can get a set date on the length of the LRC cycle, we'll be able to exactly pinpoint when these systems will be rotating back through. But we're going to kind of have this same pattern through about Saturday before the flow starts to flatten out a little bit. Instead of coming in from Canada, will be more of a west to east pattern, and that will allow us to warm up a little bit next week. But in return, we're going to have a little system coming in off the Pacific, and as the jet stream buckles, it looks like we could again see another system in here towards Thanksgiving. A couple models were hinting at it a few days ago, but now they're making the system a little bit stronger for Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you what, Justin, if you have any travel plans throughout the northern plains into the Great Lakes area, even before Thanksgiving, this thing, a lot of times these things come in usually a little bit earlier than models are forecasting. So I'd keep an eye on the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. It doesn't look like a big deal, but again, with all the people traveling before Thanksgiving and probably on Thanksgiving, could pose a little bit of a problem in our area and into the Midwest. But again, it's 6 days away. That could change as well.
Yeah, a lot of things will likely change. You know, the exact placement, the exact strength, what's going to be the exact impacts to you for traveling. The timing will likely shift just a little bit, but we do see the signs of it rolling in the middle of next week, right around the Thanksgiving time frame. So even though we're not expecting it to be quote unquote a big storm right now, it doesn't take much to kind of complicate some of those roads. You know, you get a 25-mile-an-hour breeze with some light to maybe moderate snow. Even if it's not adding up to a lot, it can, at least for a short period of time, bring in some traveling impacts around the area. So if you are doing traveling like Dean had mentioned, just keep it in mind. Keep checking back here throughout the weekend and into next week. We'll have all the details on how this thing is evolving as it gets a little bit closer into our area. And I think that we have a winner.
We do.
There for your trivia question. I think it was Eric. Do we have Eric on the line?
No,
still,
he had to go he had to go, right, Ronnie?
I had to apologize. It's first time running the show, so
That's
yeah,
okay.
he did call in and gave the correct answer though. So
that was quick. So again, the question was, in many liquor stores, you can buy pear brandy with a real pear inside the bottle. The pear is whole and ripe, and the bottle is genuine. It hasn't been cut in any way. How did the pear get inside the bottle? And Eric knew the answer. The pear grew inside the bottle. You're probably thinking, what, did they put dirt in there? That doesn't make sense. But the bottles are placed over... What? Yeah, the bottles are placed over pear buds when they are small and are wired in place on the tree. The bottle is left in place for the entire growing season. When the pears are ripe, they're snipped off at the stem, and there you go.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. You know, the other fun thing, they do this over in Japan. When they grow watermelons, they actually put the watermelon in a square mold, and it's a square watermelon, so you can set it in your fridge without it rolling around.
That would be nice.
That would be very nice.
Should we do another one?
Maybe when we come back in the next segment.
Okay. Yeah, because
let's keep people interested, because we said we were giving away everything but the kitchen sink today. What does that really mean? Well, we'll let you know when we come back after this short break.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus special financing. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
At CDW, we get Mac at Work works for everyone.
I work in IT, and since we switched to Mac, the text messages I'm getting are a lot more positive. Sales is happy because Mac works with all their apps. Finance is happy to get power without the big price tag.
And CDW configured every device to work right out of the box.
Is there an emoji for that?
I use the unicorn. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Get a great deal on Mac for your business at cdw.com/getmac.
No matter where you are on your spiritual journey, there's a place for you at Olivet Lutheran Church. We know life can get busy. There's a new normal that we're all trying to find our way through. Maybe you haven't been to church in a while. Maybe you've never been. Or maybe you're looking for a new church family to connect with. Whatever the reason, know that you are welcome and you are loved. Join us for in-person and online services Sunday mornings at 8:30 and 10:30 and Wednesday evenings at 6. Encounter Jesus, experience grace. Olivet Lutheran Church.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or have pain or numbness in your feet, call us right now before it's too late at 701-929-7505. Again, 701-929-7505. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. It can lead to balance problems, complete loss of independence, and in some cases, amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start to feel relief from their symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone and call now at 701-929-7505 or find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. Call us today at 701-929-7505.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this afternoon. 1:21 in the afternoon, 12 degrees, a little bit of light snow out there causing some reduced visibility. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And again, we are missing Bridget Riedel today very much, but we know that she's having a great time over at NDSU as she is one of their keynote speakers. And who knows, maybe you'll see her over there if you're planning on going to that event. I think it starts here at about 2 o'clock, so maybe you get to go meet Bridget over at NDSU. As we had mentioned, we were thinking about maybe giving away some more stuff. And Dean, I know you had another trivia question, but what do we want to give away at this time?
You know what? Let's give away, we'll give away a hat and a keychain. I'm digging up a trivia question, so I'm going to let you fly the plane here for just a second here.
Well, this plane has got one wheel, okay, and I got to go in for a landing. So,
why am I thinking of the movie Airplane right now?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, where did all these snakes come from, by the way? No, Bridget had sent over a little bit of information for us. We got a few ag things that we can take a look at, and this was some of the sales of the fiscal years that have just kind of gone through over from the United States. And I didn't get a whole chance to read the entire article, but I got a good handful of points that I wanted to kind of make here. And it was There was a boosted large increase in most sales in categories across the United States. The U.S. farm exported mushrooms to a record $196.4 billion in the fiscal year ending on September 30th. According to the newly released Commerce Department data, sales were 14% higher than the previous mark at $172.7 billion set just 1 year ago. So, I didn't really realize that we, exported that many mushrooms, but almost $200 billion this year so far on mushrooms. Another topic from that same thing is that China, the #1 market, bought a record of $36.4 billion of U.S. agricultural products, topping the 2021 record of $33.6 billion. Trade analyst Daniel Russell told the USDA's radio service that Canada was second with $28.3 and Mexico was third with $28 billion in the fiscal year of 2021. Canada imported $24.3 billion and Mexico bought $23.4 billion in the U.S. agricultural goods. These three top consumers accounted for about 47 cents for every dollar in sales. So that's pretty big chunk of the market right there, kind of just being dominated by Canada, China, and Mexico. But it kind of makes sense. There are closer neighbors, and Europe usually does a lot of intertrade between themselves. And I know that they're kind of helping to pick up the slack from the stuff that's going on over in Ukraine and the grain deals. We'll have to wait and see. I think that's set to expire here on the 19th, that Russia and Ukraine grain export agreement, and with things what seem to be in a way escalating over there, it'll be interesting to see if that gets renewed. I know that analysts are expecting it to go on, but we're talking about Russia and Ukraine right now, so who actually knows what's going to end up playing out. I would like to speculate that they'll probably end up extending it and then cancel it halfway through. Dean, I'm not sure about your thoughts, but that's what it seemed like. They started it, and then Russia was like, no, we're not letting you out of the ports. And they're like, oh, that's right, everyone's watching. We better let you keep going. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going on over there. I know that there have been quite a bit of agriculture-related incidents over there, just hampering down on the food exports out of Ukraine, and that's really suffering over in the African countries where a lot of their grain is being exported to.
Right.
And I think that they saw a big increase in wheat sale over there as well after that Ukrainian air defense missile landed over in Poland. So it'll be interesting to see if that kind of levels out over the next couple of days, or if those prices stay where they're at. But with a struggling economy over there, and some of those third world countries in Africa, and even some of the more developed countries importing some of that grain, it might be a bit of a struggle for them with increased prices.
Right. And, we were worried earlier in the season about, with the bird flu going on, that we might have a shortage of turkeys available for this Thanksgiving. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case now. Recent word out of Minnesota is that, nationwide, there should not be any sort of shortage in turkeys. So the price is a little different. Yeah, they're a little higher, but as is everything. But that's a good news. At least we don't have to worry about a shortage of turkeys. And speaking about Thanksgiving dinner, do you ever wonder how much a farmer, with all the crops that they grow, how much do they get in return? Most people would think, they probably get a pretty penny, but in actuality, let's use eggs, for example. Retail, they sell for now about $3.99. A farmer would get about $1.94 out of that. For dairy, for milk, a gallon of milk, let's say it's $4.39. Farmer would get only about $2.09 from that. Potatoes, we all love potatoes. A 5-pound bag of potatoes selling for about $6.49. Farmer would get about $2.82 out of that. Let's use flour. A 5-pound bag of flour, which would sell for about $4.49. Farmer would only get about 71 cents out of that. So, and here's an even bigger difference for a ham. Let's say 1-pound ham. Retail sells for about $13 or so. Farmer would get about $1.16 out of that. So, big difference. I thought it'd be a little.
It's a big missing chunk there,
isn't there? Yeah, and it's.
But I guess, the third party that does all the processing and packaging, they're automatically going to double what they ended up
processing,
paying for
marketing, wholesale, distribution, and retailing account for about 80 cents of every food dollar spent in the United States. So that would be a big chunk of that. So What should we give away? So we got the rain gauge. What do you say? A hat, a WDAY hat, and a
Let's
keychain.
throw in a keychain in there too.
You want to do question 2? Did I send you that? I can read it off.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
do
you
that
sent
one.
it to me,
Yeah.
but I don't have it pulled up.
Okay, out of all the vegetables, okay, this is for a hat, WDAY hat, and a weather keychain that we've been giving away. Of all the vegetables, only 2 can live to produce on their own for several growing seasons. All other vegetables must be replanted each year. What are the only 2 perennial vegetables? Again, of all the vegetables, only 2 can live to produce on their own for several growing seasons. All other vegetables must be replanted each year. What are the only 2 perennial vegetables?
You know, I think I actually know one of them.
You know it?
I think I know one of them. I don't know about the second one.
Okay. So these are the only 2 perennial vegetables. 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000. No Googling. Can't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google. If you Google and we suspect you of Googling, you are automatically ineligible of winning our prizes. Well, why don't we just take a quick see where those snow showers are on the area. We'll send you to the bottom of the hour. We're starting to see a few bands of snow getting a little larger in the northern valley just east of I-29 into lakes or into northwest Minnesota. Those should continue to fall on the east side of the river. And I'll show you that for those watching on our YouTube Live or Facebook Live right now of the radar from the Mayville radar site. We got a band of snow which is starting to form as well, stretching from Northwood just south of Carrington. That's going to start working its way towards the FM Metro, and even right now still a little bit of light snow over the Fargo area that is producing some reduced visibility. Not quite as bad as some spots, but still down to about 2 miles as we have a 10 to 25 mile per hour wind right now. So this is going to continue throughout the afternoon as well as into the overnight hours with a chance for some scattered snow bands developing, and we'll touch more on that forecast when we come back. And as well, we'll take a look at what that trivia question is. Remember that phone number 701-293-9000 if you'd like to give a guess on what that trivia answer may be. What are the 2 perennial vegetables? And we'll see if you can get that correct. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey, it's Jay Thomas, and I got to tell you, I'm hungry, and I'm hungry all the time. Listen, when I want to grab a hot and ready-to-go meal in a short time, I go straight to PetroServe USA. 12th Street in Fargo has hot lunches every day, plus the 4-for-4 breakfast burritos. Oh, man, they are fantastic snacks and so much more. And they are all over North Dakota, so no matter where you go, from Bemidji, Minnesota to Mandan or West Fargo to Wahpeton, there's a PetroServe USA near you with American refined petroleum straight from the Bakken and Canada, too. Get filled up at PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
Save now on premium mattresses, pillows, bases, and linens at Accord Comfort Sleep Systems directly across from Olive Garden. Find the best mattress design and construction with our exclusive technologies such as our Accord Comfort Reflex Layer, ensuring proper spinal alignment. Our Thermodyne climate control fabric is perfect for the couple sleeping hot and cold. Buy today and take it home today, or free delivery in the FM metro area. Accord Comfort Sleep Systems. You're going to love sleeping with us.
If you want to eat that big, juicy ribeye again, if you're just done with dentures and all the hassles and gels and all the other stuff that come with that, they're a replacement for no teeth.
Absolutely. It's like huge difference between those. We're replacing no teeth. We're not replacing teeth. If you are wanting to chew that steak again with your dentures, we can invest and do something like implants.
Complimentary, no obligation consultation. Just tell them Scott sent you. Call 298-9400, 298-9400, or go to fargodentalcare.com. That's the website for Dr. Jeff Harry, Designer Smiles.
Your new one-stop shop for the latest in news, weather, sports, and community happenings is WDAYRadioNow.com. Stay up to date online, on your phone, on the go. Interviews with newsmakers, all your favorite local shows on demand for those days when you don't want to miss anything. Get your forecast so you're always in the know when it comes to the weather, and find information on our shows and personalities. If it's happening now, it's happening on WDAYRadioNow.com. That's WDAYRadioNow.com.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Sunday at 6 a.m. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the North Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
People with chronic lower back pain have often tried lots of different things, and most of those things just don't work, and they're searching things that do work. Non-surgical spinal decompression is a type of treatment done with a specialized machine that has very high success rates, and we're lucky to be one of the few clinics in the entire state that has it.
My name is Sydney, and I had debilitating back pain for 11 years. I went into the clinic to receive treatment. After 8 treatments, I had been feeling much better. After those 8 treatments, I was back to playing volleyball, golf. Dr. Z at the clinic helped me get back to the sports that I love.
A research study performed on low back patients that had already failed medical, chiropractic, and physical therapy, in other words, the surgery group, had a 90% success rate with decompression treatment. So whether it's chronic lower back pain, sciatica, knee injuries from running, neck pain, headaches, or shoulder problems, the clinic can help. Find us at theclinicnow.com. That's theclinicnow.com. theclinicnow.com.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We had our trivia question before we went to the break, and we were asking what are the 2 perennial vegetables? And we had someone call in, and they got the correct answer, and Diane gave us the correct answer, and the only 2 perennial vegetables that keep producing year after year, well, I had one, it was asparagus, and the second one, rhubarb. That's funny. Both of them grow in our area too. Yeah, both in the wild as well, asparagus and rhubarb.
And
That's
Ronnie,
an interesting one. You know, I didn't
Ronnie,
know that,
Diane.
Dean.
Yeah, did Diane call back or no?
She hasn't yet, but Diane, please do so because either I disconnected or you disconnected. But we disconnected.
Did you get her info or?
I did not get her info. Just her first name. I was trying to put her on the air. Multiple people were calling in at the same time, and the system doesn't like that.
Yeah, Diane, congrats, but we need a little more info from you to be able to get you your prize. So, congratulations, Diane, on that. Curious, was that a hard one? I don't know. It's easily.
You know,
you could Google
I knew
it,
asparagus, but I didn't know rhubarb.
Right.
I mean, I did, but it didn't pop in my mind.
Right.
So I don't think it was too difficult.
Okay. And as you were
Dean.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, why don't we take a look? I know we usually hold off on this into the last segment, but why don't we touch on what's going on over the Great Lakes area? Because there's some pretty historical weather going on over there right now.
Okay, first let's we do have Diane. She did call back, so congratulations, Diane, on winning a hat and a keychain. And so I've got to ask you, did you Google it or did you already know it?
No, I knew it from what I had in my own garden.
Oh, fantastic! Good deal. Do you have a big garden?
I wasn't real sure. Wasn't real sure if rhubarb was a vegetable or not, but it's like, okay, I could try.
Okay. Well, congratulations. And how big is your garden?
Large.
Okay.
So probably about 40 feet by 70 feet.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What are you growing in there besides rhubarb, asparagus?
Okay, tomatoes, cucumbers, beans, beets, corn, potatoes. It's most of your basics.
And
that sounds like a pretty hefty garden.
I'd say. And do you have any secrets on a healthy garden? Any trade secrets or anything special that you use?
Well, not a whole lot, I guess. It's on a little bit of a slope, so if we get a lot of rain or something like that, it catches it, but it kind of runs down. It doesn't puddle and stuff like that, and so that's very important for drainage. And so, but
any special fertilizer?
we live on a farm, and so it's right next to the field. So when we're spreading fertilizer, we just kind of shoot them into it. So from same stuff that we would use on the field.
Sure. Excellent. So, well, Diane, congratulations, and I'm sure Ronnie told you how to pick up your prize and everything.
Nope, haven't talked to him yet.
I haven't yet, so stay on the line, Diane, and I'll get that info from you.
Great. Well, congratulations, Diane. Congratulations, and thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. Now, what else can we give away before the boss comes in today?
I saw a new snow globe on his desk.
I'm not touching that.
You think he's going to get mad about that?
I am not touching that at all. And before we were talking about this, what might end up going down to be a historic lake effect snow event in areas of New York, from just south of generally the Buffalo area and just south of Buffalo. They could get up to 3 to 4 feet of snow, some spots locally more. I know North Aurora in New York is getting just absolutely hammered right now with thunder snow, and you don't see that too often. That's a really cool thing to experience, is thunder snow. Basically, it's a thunderstorm with lightning and snow. Imagine how heavy rain comes down in a thunderstorm, and now it's snow. That's how heavy. When you get thunder snow, you're snowing at a rate of up to 2 inches an hour, if not more. And that's exactly what they're seeing in parts of New York. Again, this could go down as a historic storm. I think it'll fall just short. I'm sure there will be some records broken. I believe the largest 4-day lake effect snowfall event is 60+ inches. I don't think they're going to quite get to that, but boy.
It'll be very close. I'm just looking at a few reports that are coming out on the south side of the Buffalo metro area. And this was about 40 minutes ago. They had already picked up 48 inches of snow, so they're already at that 4-foot mark in a couple of spots. The surrounding areas outside of those bands, anywhere from about 1 to 3 feet, but 4 feet right in the epicenter so far, and that's just on the south side of Buffalo, and then stretching east of East Aurora. So quite a big, nasty lake effect snow, and some people might be wondering, well, what is lake effect snow? How does this happen? Well, what ends up happening, kind of think about the way we get thunderstorms here in the valley. We get that warm, humid air at the surface. It's cold aloft, and it just rises. You get a big thunderstorm that develops. Well, it's the same thing that's going on over the Great Lakes. The lake temperatures are around 50 degrees down there, and the air temperatures are in the teens to 20s. So you get that natural instability that develops over the lake, and you just get these parallel bands of snow that just roll right off the edge of the lake. Generally, when you get a wind that goes straight across the longest portion of those lakes is when you get those healthiest bands, and that's exactly what's setting up across all of the Great Lakes right now. But the worst of it looks to be falling just on the south side of Buffalo and along that southern shore.
And Watertown's going to take it pretty bad, too.
Yeah, Watertown, they've already, let's see, this was from an hour ago, and they were at just over a foot of snow, and that band of snow is just continuing to increase. That's where some of the thunder snow is being reported as well, as over by the Watertown and Buffalo area. So
that's right. And
have you ever been in it?
Outside in Chicago, yeah. You'd get the northeast winds off of Lake Michigan, and you would get some intense snow in Chicago when you get that lake effect snow. It's something. It's something else, and it's fun to watch because you can go from they're usually very narrow bands, and you can go from, if you're driving towards a city, sunshine, and then literally within a mile, whiteout conditions. It's not fun to drive in, that's for sure. But it's definitely something. It's something to experience, that's for sure. And this year, and this the setup that we have, the lake waters are so warm. Usually you'll get your lake effect snow in the wintertime before the lakes freeze over. Obviously, after the lakes freeze over, you're not going to get any lake effect snow. But for this early in the season, the temperatures of the Great Lakes are unusually warm, and the air aloft is very, very cold. So, I mean, the ingredients are just absolutely perfect for heavy lake effect snow. Got a email question. Again, if you have any questions on weather today, shoot us an email, weather@flagfamily.com. Again, that's weather@flagfamily.com. Got an email in here. One of our listeners wants to know, is this lake effect snow tied in to our storms that are rolling through our area? The quick answer to that is not so much. There is an area of low pressure that's parked near the Great Lakes, and winds rotate counterclockwise around low pressure. That's shoving those westerly winds off of the Great Lakes into areas of Buffalo and Watertown, New York. For us, our flow is coming in from Canada from the northwest, so it's not directly tied in with the lake effect snow. Ours is more tied in with the upper level winds coming in out of the northwest from Canada, but they're a little bit tied together, but not so much. And again, he also asked, will this, when this repeats on the LRC cycle later this winter, will Buffalo and upstate New York experience this same lake effect event? Odds are probably not. A, because the lakes will be colder, temperature will be colder, maybe frozen over, so that would eliminate the lake effect snow. And the general pattern will rotate back, but the winds have to be almost identical, paralleling the lakes, and that's going to be tough to duplicate exactly when this same system comes back in the LRC cycle. But it'll be something similar. I just don't think it'll be the same as what it is now, where I just saw a report, I missed the city, 48 inches of snow has already fallen in some of those areas. So that's 4 feet already. Wow.
What do you do with 4 feet of snow that just drops down on you? That just...
Literally, there will be people on roofs.
Man, it could...
Shoveling
it shuts the city down here in Fargo and we get 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, they basically have already declared a snow emergency in areas of New York. So, yeah, it's just, like I said, some areas this will go down as a historic lake effect event. But again, this is totally different. It's not a quote unquote storm that's causing this. It's an upper level low, and the winds rotating around that off the Great Lakes that are producing it. So this isn't a nor'easter. You typically get your nor'easter that wraps into the northeastern tier of the U.S. This is totally different. But we have to pay some bills.
Just cold.
What's that? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it's just cold, strong wind that's rolling off from the west over those warm bodies of water. And a lot of people generally assume that you think lake effect snow, it only happens on the Great Lakes, but you can sometimes get lake effect snow that happens on some of the smaller lakes. And in fact, lake effect snow has happened here in North Dakota off the lake out west and the river that runs through here. When you get just the right wind at the right point in the season, generally it's a early to late fall, I should say mid to late fall, when the water temperatures are still warm and you get just this Arctic blast of cold air and you get the right wind that's flowing directly over the lake or the river, you can get lake effect snow to happen on smaller bodies. And the smallest lake that I've seen lake effect snow happen on was Big Lake Detroit and Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. I've seen a little lake effect snow coming off of that one time when I was driving back home. It was just a cloud basically rolling right off the lake, and 5 miles down the road I got hit with about a half-mile wide band of snow. It was kind of cool. And Dean, you had told me a fun story that you had this happen.
I was just going to bring that up.
Not off a lake, but
off of a manufacturing plant. It was I can't remember what kind of plant. It wasn't. I don't think it was an energy plant, but it was something similar. So when living in Nebraska, it was sunny out for the most part. Partly cloudy. And all of a sudden, we got this, we'll call it a streamer band of snow that was coming in from the north, and it was like maybe a 10-mile wide band right over the city of Lincoln, and it just kept snowing and snowing and snowing, and we couldn't figure out something's producing this. We weren't sure exactly what it was, but what it was the steam. It was a plant that was about 20 miles north of Lincoln, Nebraska. And it was so cold out that the steam rising off one of their, I think it was an electrical plant, the steam rising off of one of their generators lifted up in the atmosphere, and the winds were blowing perfectly, like due south from north to south into the city. And it had enough moisture. It was so cold, the air aloft was, and it was at the surface, that the moisture coming in off of the generator as it rose up was enough to produce snow. And I think we got an inch or so of snow out of it, inch or two of snow out of it, which is, it's not as strong as lake effect, but it was that was what we call a real very microclimate event where, yeah, even something odd as that produced snow. So that was pretty wild.
Yeah, you can sometimes get that off the sugar beet plant in Hillsboro.
Exactly.
Around there. Not very heavy snow, but just some light flurries you can get to develop off of those steam plants. Or
That's right.
At least the steam coming out of the top of the chimneys. Yeah. But we got to hit a break here. We got to get an update from the American Ag Network. Got to see what's going on over there. And then Weather and Ag in Focus will return.
It's Jay and Ronnie from the Coffee Club, and we love MyPillow. We absolutely love the Giza Dream Sheets, made with the world's best cotton, grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. Its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable.
Yeah, let me tell you, this 400 thread count, they are fantastic sheets. They are warm when you need to be warm. They are cool when you need to have very thin layer between you and the mattress. It is a fantastic sleep with Giza Dream Sheets. 60-day money-back guarantee, machine washable and durable, and a 10-year warranty.
Available in multiple colors, styles, and sizes. All right now for a great low price of $29.99 with promo code WDAY. All you need to do is go to MyPillow.com, go to Listener Radio Special Box, put in the promo code WDAY. MyPillow.com, go to Listener Radio Special Box, put in the promo code WDAY.
Promo code WDAY.
When love is shared, great things happen. After 15 years of the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and the retailers have donated over $250 million to charity. Get a new Subaru now through January 3rd, and $250 will be donated to charity. You get a new all-wheel drive Subaru while helping your fellow man. Stop in today. Muscatel Subaru, just off exit 1 in Moorhead. See Subaru.com for details.
If you're looking for honest, dependable, over-the-top customer service at affordable prices, you'll want to do business with Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, North Dakota. Welton's is a name you've grown to trust, proudly serving the area for 50 years. Welton's Tire always works hard for customer satisfaction and service. They offer brands for every make. If you need tires, repair, maintenance, or on-farm tire service, contact Welton's Tire on Main Street in Lisbon. Tell them Beth sent you. Online at weltonstire.net.
It's fairly mixed as we wrap up the trading week. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this closing market update, broadcasting live from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. Fairly quiet, choppy market day on Friday, with beans trying to be an upside leader with a little bit of strength in products, meal and oil, but corn was kind of firm on the day. Wheat kind of mixed on the session. Just kind of a quiet, choppy trading day. And we think about this market, we got the Black Sea grain export deal signed, of course, this week. That's been a weight on the trade. Winter settling in across the Midwest. We could be primed for a slow stretch of holiday trade here, heading into Thanksgiving and a holiday shortened week this next week, and then on to Christmas, etc. Fundamental grain market news is generally pretty thin, with row crops in the bin and the USDA done with production side updates until January. So that is something to look at here as we move ahead here the next couple of weeks. How thin will this market trade be overall? Final numbers on Friday. December corn up a quarter penny, 667 3/4. March corn up 1,670. Soybeans January 11 1/4 higher, 1428 1/4. March beans up 11, 1433 1/4. Bean meal December up 470 a ton, 410.40. Bean oil December up 61 points, 72.74. Chicago wheat December 3.5 lower, 803 1/4. March down 3 at 822. KC wheat December 3 3/4 lower, 934 1/4. Spring wheat December 3 3/4 lower, 950. March down 5 at 957. Lean hogs December down 75, 84.22. February down 125, 89.55. January feeder cattle 80 higher, 180.77. March up 62, 183.12. December live cattle up 32, 153.07. And February up 45 at 155.85. Let's look at the closing markets for Friday. Reporting live at the NAFB convention in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Jesse Allen on the American Ag Network.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm here with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And if you'd like to call in, ask a question or a comment, feel free to do so. Also, give us a road report. There is some snow falling throughout the northwest Minnesota and throughout eastern North Dakota, mixing with some wind that is reducing some visibility. For the most part, roads seem fine, but visibility getting dropped to under a mile in some spots. Give us a phone call, 701-293-9000, or you can always reach us via email during or after the show, weather or ag at flagfamily.com. Also remember to find us on Facebook or YouTube Live, Weather and Ag in Focus, where you can not only listen but watch us live during our show. It's also where we have all of our archive show and great guests that we've had on the past. A couple things we want to do here. We got to take a look at another article here that Bridget sent us over about an AgVisor app that we had kind of mentioned the other day. Dean, do you want to expand a little bit more on that app and finding experts?
Yeah, so this is a great, I mean, you know, we've been talking over the last few months about how technology is helping farming, and I think this is a great piece of addition to that. A new farm advice app. It's called AgvisorPro. It offers a universe of targeted, independent, or commercial advice for any farm problem. Some advice is free and some is not. Here's how it works. It's a two-sided digital meeting place. A person enters an ag question anonymously into the app, and an algorithm matches the query with vetted specialists who can choose to answer. The experts are either paid for their knowledge or work for companies that pay to be on the platform. For example, a vet tech could be connected to a veterinarian on a wearable device to coach the tech through the procedure. And another example, here's a question: why don't more farmers go to no-till? Well, because they're not confident they can do this. That's what the article says. What gives farmers confidence? It's talking to experts who have been there and done that. If you're a farmer, you're not going to risk changing your operation until you're confident it will work. Makes total sense. Again, if you're interested in that, it's the app is called AgvisorPro. So that's a great tool. It really is.
You know, Bridget's actually on there. She's one of the experts,
and as well she should be. As well,
she
you know, because I mean, I'm sure you've got these, you know, the younger generation coming up, and they're a lot more tech savvy than the older generation, and if they're taking over the farm and they have some questions, you know, let's say their parents have passed on, but they're running the farm, but they're really not sure on a few things. This is a perfect app to use for sure.
Oh, definitely is. Why don't we take a quick look at national weather right now? Obviously, the big story is the lake effect snow coming off the Great Lakes, where, you know, East Aurora, Watertown, Buffalo, and we're looking at 3 to 6 feet of snow to be falling from that lake effect snow. But outside of that, the rest of the country basically being dominated by a cold air mass stretching down into Canada, hence why we've been so cold as well, trapped here in the teens. We got 20s and 30s extending all the way down into portions of Texas and some of those Gulf states down there, but really fairly quiet across most of the area. We're going to look at that cold air mass kind of sticking around in place. There'll be a few days down throughout the southern plains where they're reaching up into the 50s with a few 60s after a few more days when we get into that Thanksgiving break area, but no big storms on site for the short-term future across the United States until we head into around Thanksgiving times, where we'll be watching a clipper system rolling through the northern Great Plains, likely to be dropping down out of Canada through North Dakota into Minnesota. That looks to be coming in Wednesday or Thursday, but then that kind of mingles with another storm system which could potentially turn into a nor'easter running up the eastern coast for that Thanksgiving weekend. So all things to keep a close eye on, but outside of just the cold weather and the lake effect snow for today and tomorrow, not a whole lot going on around the country.
Yeah, it's outside of the lake effect, like you said, it's pretty quiet. But this cold air mass is going to set quite a few records. If they're not record lows, they're going to be record cold high temperatures. And again, keep in mind, according to the LRC, this same pattern will cycle back a few more times during the winter. Now, when they do cycle back during the winter, obviously the air is going to be colder, probably more intense. And again, this is one of those air masses that right now is reaching down to the Gulf, and probably will. The only places that have escaped this so far have been Florida, and the Southwest. Everybody else has really been encompassed, generally from the Rockies eastward. We've been engulfed in this cold air mass, and when this comes back, it's probably going to be more severe. This is going to be a fun winter. In terms of...
it's going to be very interesting.
It will be. There's going to be a couple of huge... we had the blizzard the other week. That will cycle back around a couple more times this winter, producing, I'm sure, a major snow event. Might not be over the same area, but it'll be close. And then these Arctic air masses are going to be prevalent this winter. I was just seeing some signs of... we're supposed to get this polar vortex is supposed to split sometime in the month of December. And when that happens, meteorologically, that's when we really get most of our intense cold air masses. And it looks like probably mid to late December that is expected to happen. So, again, we'll be able to give you a better handle on that when the LRC cycle is set. And, again, that looks like that should happen pretty soon. We're not exactly sure the date, but we will know when that same pattern that was prevalent in early October, when we see that again on our upper level charts, that's when we know that the cycle has been set. Not yet, but we're close. And again, put December 7th on your calendar. That's when we'll have our winter weather outlook with me, Justin, Gary Lezak, who founded the LRC, and Bridget Riedel. Riedel will all be on Jay Thomas Show, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. December 7th. So that does it for us here at Weather and Ag in Focus. Me and Justin want to thank you for tuning in and joining us on online as well. You guys have yourself a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you on Monday.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1 FM.